Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is me making two different macaroni and cheeses. So if you're a new subscriber, welcome. And if you're an old subscriber, welcome back. So I wanted to make my macaroni and cheese two different ways. The first way that I'm going to show you guys is because it was for my grandmother. She asked me to make her some macaroni and cheese for Thanksgiving. I decided to do it, and I just didn't want to make it too much for them. The second way that I make it, you guys are going to see that it's my way. The way that I want it to be, and this is what I made for Thanksgiving Day. I want to make sure that when I dip my spoon into a corner and pull it out, I want like the evaporated milk or milk if that's what you use. I want the cheese, and I want like, you know, to taste like butter, milk, cheese, seasoned salt, you know, all the good stuff in there. Most importantly, I put a lot of cheese because that's just what I wanted and how I wanted to make it. So join me as I'm showing you guys two different ways that I'm going to be making macaroni and cheese on Thanksgiving for my grandmother and then for myself. Okay, so I'm just letting the noodles boil, and once they boil, I will then drain them, and then in the pan I have butter ready to mix with the noodles. So now that they're drained, I'm just going to cut up a couple pieces of butter to mix up with the noodles. So as you can see, I'm just putting the butter into the pan before putting the noodles in. Because the noodles are hot, it will melt the butter, and you want to mix the butter and the noodles together. So I'm taking just maybe like 2 or 3 eggs, cracking it into this little small container. I'm going to mix them up using the fork, and then I'm going to add in some seasoned salt, and I'm going to add in a little bit of pepper, and then I want to mix this up with the condensed milk because that's what's going to be going onto the bottom in order to make that mixture to keep the noodles together and to get them to rise. And so once mixing it with the condensed milk, I then just want to add it into the small container. Yes, I added it into this bigger bowl just so that I can make sure that the butter is mixed with the noodles because this pan is really small. So this is just the mixture that I'm going to put to the side. I'm not ready to use that yet, but it's just condensed milk, the egg mixture, and then the seasoned salt and pepper. But anyways, stay tuned because I'm still making macaroni and cheese. Alright, so for this part, I'm using the same cheese in this first half of making macaroni and cheese that I am in the second half. So the cheeses that I used were sharp cheddar cheese, mild cheddar cheese, Parmesan cheese, Kobe Jack cheese, and a white cheddar cheese. And I just wanted to easily be able to sprinkle all of them into the noodles, so I just put it all into a Ziploc bag. And like I said, I have sharp, mild, and Kobe Jack. Those are going to get cut up, and those are going to just be shredded onto the top. Because I have the mixture in the bag, I just want to grate some in order to put on top of my macaroni and cheese.
That's where she'll go. Somebody say, don't be afraid of loving yourself, 'cause that is all you got in the end. You got in the end. But she's wondering if it's gonna feel like she's forever. Wondering if it's gonna feel like this whenever she leaves her safe space. She leaves her safe space. Wondering if it is forever, or is there some place that will make her feel better?
And so for this, I'm just simply adding noodles, making layers, and then I will mix it all up.
Talking to myself 'cause I don't know what I want. Yeah, I'm here talking to myself like someone's gonna respond. I'm getting tired of myself.
So now is when I'm gonna add that egg and condensed milk mixture on top of, and then still try to mix it all up together. I'm just gonna add some extra condensed milk because you have to let it rise up to the part where your noodles stop at. So this is the part where I'm just gonna mix it up because I wanna make sure that stuff gets everywhere in this macaroni and cheese.
That's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. That's where she'll go.
So I top mine with some pepper, and then I'm putting the sharp cheddar cheese that I shredded on top. All right, here it is, way number 2. So this one was the one that I clearly made for Thanksgiving. Way number 2 is just simply using the same cheese as in the first one, boiling everything you need. So I boiled the noodles. I put the butter and the pepper and the seasoned salt in this bigger pan for myself because this was going to be eaten by 4 people. The first video was only for 2 people, my grandmother and my grandfather. I simply add in the egg mixture right here, which has the seasoned salt and pepper in it, and the eggs. And so I want to mix that all up really, really good. So I put a whole stick of butter in this one because this was a larger pan. In the first one, I put a couple just slices of butter. So I'm just simply adding in the sharp cheddar cheese blocks and then the Kobe Jack cheese blocks. So those, I took the big block and just cut into 3s straight down. And so I'm just putting blocks in so that there's macaroni, macaroni and cheese like is melting together everywhere so that the cheese is going to be blasting. Yes, I did put 1 pack of Velveeta cheese in. I thought that that would give it like a color and then an extra cheese taste. So yes, I did add that in. So here it is so far. I did add in some of the already put together cheeses that I had in the Ziploc bag. Now I just want to simply add in some extra condensed milk to level it up to the top of the noodles, like I said before. But this time, these noodles were extra cheesy. I didn't want to put too much cheese in my grandparents' macaroni and cheese, which was in the first video, first half of the video. So I wanted to make my macaroni and cheese the way that I wanted it, and I knew that I wanted it cheesy and I wanted it milky, if that's what you want to call it. But I just wanted to be able to like taste the cheese and not just noodles and stuff like that. So I'm just simply mixing everything up, adding the extra condensed milk, and then I'm just going to top it off with the cheese, and she's going to be ready to go into the oven. The one thing I will say is I put my macaroni and cheese in the oven on 350 for about 40 minutes. I take it out and I'll check a corner, and then you'll definitely know that it's done when you don't have a runny macaroni and cheese, or if you don't have places that are still bubbling from, needing to cook. You guys already probably can tell I am a cheese fanatic, where here it is, I'm just loading this bad boy down with some cheese. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video of seeing how I can make macaroni and cheese two different ways. Way number one was without the Velveeta cheese and without as much cheese, and it was a smaller pan. And way number two was my way or no way, and it just involved the Velveeta cheese, and it involved putting way more cheese than need be. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a huge thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to my channel. Join me because Vlogmas is coming.